Australia is the sixth largest country in the world. It's almost the size of the United States. But here's the strange part. Only about 26 million people live there. That's less than many single cities. So why is such a massive country almost empty? When you look at a map, Australia looks huge. Endless land, massive territory, thousands of kilometers across. You would expect hundreds of millions of people to live there. But instead, most of the land is completely empty. What's stopping people from moving inland? In fact, more than 85% of Australians live near the coast. The center of the country is so sparsely populated that entire regions have fewer people than a small town in Europe. So what makes the middle of Australia so unlivable? The biggest reason is the outback. This massive interior region covers most of Australia's land. It's dry, remote, and extremely harsh. Temperatures can rise above 45 degrees Celsius in summer. Living there is not just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. Unlike green landscapes in Europe or North America, Central Australia is dominated by desert and semi-arid land. Water is incredibly scarce, and without reliable water, building large cities becomes almost impossible.
Rainfall in the Australian interior is unpredictable. Some years bring droughts that last for months or even years. Agriculture struggles to survive under these conditions, limiting the ability to support large populations. Farming requires stable soil and consistent rain, but much of Australia's interior soil is poor in nutrients. Even if you bring water, the land itself isn't ideal for feeding millions of people. Australia is the driest inhabited continent on Earth. That alone explains a lot. Without rivers and fertile plains like those in Europe or Asia, population growth naturally concentrates in the few livable regions. Heat waves in the interior can be extreme. Some towns experience temperatures that make outdoor work nearly impossible for long periods of time. Modern technology helps, but it doesn't change geography. And then there are bushfires. Every year, massive fires burn across large parts of the country. These natural disasters make expansion into remote regions even riskier. Because of these harsh conditions, Australians settled along the coast. Cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane offer moderate climates, access to water, and economic opportunities. The coastline provides ports for trade, fishing industries, and tourism. Being connected to the ocean has always been economically powerful. Over time, infrastructure developed along these coastal hubs. Roads, universities, hospitals, and businesses all concentrated in the same areas, making it even harder for inland regions to compete. When Europeans first arrived in Australia in the late 18th century, they established colonies near the coast. Transportation was limited, so expansion inland happened slowly. Unlike in North America, where rivers allowed settlers to move deep into the continent, Australia lacked large navigable rivers connecting the coast to the center. As a result, economic activity stayed near ports. Trade and communication depended on ships, not inland exploration. Building infrastructure in remote desert regions is extremely expensive. Roads must cross vast empty distances. Electricity and water systems require enormous investment. When population density is low, governments struggle to justify the cost of developing remote areas. It simply doesn't make economic sense. Even today, some communities in the outback are separated by hundreds of kilometers of empty land. Services like hospitals and schools are limited. Australia is also famous for its unique and sometimes dangerous wildlife. From venomous snakes to giant spiders, nature in the interior can be intimidating. While wildlife alone doesn't stop settlement, it adds to the perception that the outback is wild and unforgiving. Australia's total population is relatively small compared to its land area. Even if people were evenly distributed, the country would still feel empty. But because most citizens choose to live near economic centers, the interior becomes even more sparsely populated. Compare Australia to countries in Europe. Many European nations are smaller but have far larger populations because their climates and geography support agriculture and dense cities. Australia simply doesn't have the same natural advantages in its interior regions. Its modern technology allows mining companies to operate in remote areas. Australia is rich in natural resources like iron ore and coal, but mining towns are temporary and small. They don't turn deserts into massive cities. Most economic growth continues to concentrate along the eastern and southeastern coasts, remains the most critical factor. Without consistent rainfall and rivers sustaining millions of people inland is nearly impossible. Desalination plants help coastal cities, but building similar systems deep inland would be extremely costly. Geography shapes destiny. Australia's vast deserts, extreme heat, and limited water naturally limit settlement. Humans adapt, but they don't fight nature unless there is a powerful economic reason. And in Australia's interior, that reason simply hasn't been strong enough. There is also a cultural aspect. Australians have grown up with the idea that the outback is wild, remote, and separate from everyday life. Most people prefer comfort, access to services, and job opportunities near the coast. If you look at population density maps, you'll see bright clusters along the edges and an almost empty center. It's one of the most dramatic population contrasts in the world. So Australia isn't empty by accident. It's empty because geography makes it difficult, expensive, and sometimes dangerous to settle. The coast offers everything people need: water, trade, jobs, and moderate climate. The interior offers beauty, minerals, and vast open space, but not the conditions for massive cities. And that's why one of the largest countries on Earth feels almost completely empty. A huge landmass shaped by heat, drought, and distance, proving once again that geography decides where humans thrive.